Good evening, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber and I read a page from a book of my choice. So I just walked back home from Imtarfa today, and that took me about an hour. And in today's video, I am going to be reviewing this book called Death and the Penguin by Andrey Kurkov. I rated this one 4 stars and it has about 230 pages or so. So it's quite a short and sweet read, and I certainly recommend it to people who like penguins and also want to read Russian literature perhaps more often. Of course, this one is a translation from the Russian language by a guy called George Bird. So, my first impression of this book is that it is so cleverly written, and it had elements of both Death Note, the manga or the anime, which I read in its entirety, as well as the book by Jonas Jonson, which is a Swedish translation called The Hundred-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared. So recently, I've been reading a lot of novels translated from the Japanese, and now having finished one translated from the Russian, I can say that it was a lovely change of pace. And I must admit that I solely bought this because of the penguin on the cover and in the title, as you can see over here. Um, Very cute penguin. I mean, you can't say it isn't, to be fair. And very simple cover, but also effective, I suppose, because it's a penguin, and I love penguins, as you can see by the soft toy behind me and many other penguin-related items on my bookshelf over there. Um, yeah, so I solely bought this because of the penguin on the cover and in the title without having much prior knowledge of what it would be about. But I was not disappointed in the slightest, and I'm very glad to say that it was quite a relief to see that it has such an interesting concept and it includes penguins. I've been looking for a book like that for a long time now. And Victor, the main character, who is meant to be an author, but he doesn't really do that, he doesn't even write short stories. He is a very well written character, and Misha the penguin is adorable. However, they are both depressed, and Victor's job is to write obituaries for people who haven't yet died, but would soon be dead under mysterious circumstances. So I suppose that Andrei Kurkov over here writes a book um, trying to highlight some sort of political issues in his own country and trying to make it as satirical as possible so as he probably wouldn't get in trouble himself, despite the book, of course, being fiction. And this was published about 20 years ago. In fact, it was coincidentally published the year I was born, 2003. He makes good money, Victor, I mean, out of it, even when he attends the funerals of the deceased with his penguin Misha, which is very ironic once again and also filled with dark humor and satire as well. I'm not sure as to whether we'll find out more about Sonia and Nina, who are Victor's daughter and wife, respectively. Um, we might, for all I know, in the sequel, because um, on the back here there is another book with a penguin um, right over there called Penguin Lost. I'm not sure if you can see it properly. And I'm not quite sure about that, but it might be the sequel to this one, hopefully, because I want to read more about this world, I suppose. Um, the twist towards the end, so this is the only spoiler I suppose in the entire video, so feel free to click a few seconds ahead if you don't want to be spoiled for this. So the twist towards the end, where it is revealed that Victor is in fact the penguin, is rather interesting, and he uses the penguin as a way to escape from his country and to not be hunted by the mafia anymore. Despite the open ending, which usually I hate open endings, despite the open ending in this one, that was quite an interesting thing to see. And I also want to learn more about Misha's well being, considering his surgery and all the moral implications involved. Um, because if you read the book, you will find out that Misha needed a new heart, and the heart was taken from a dead 4-year-old child. So there are a lot of moral implications over there, And Victor loves his penguin so much that he would go to any length to save him from any congenital heart diseases, I suppose. It would be great to see Victor's pet thriving as well as being taken care of properly, because he's not in the proper climate he's meant to be in, and that is why he is depressed. And it is great to see how the animal is treated in such a way that conveys that all animals have feelings and emotions like humans do, especially alongside the young girl Sonia, because we can see how similar they are despite being different species entirely. So I would say that this one is short and sweet, filled with dark humor, and the one adjective I would use to describe it correctly, or the best, would probably be bleak. Yeah, I'd say that would fit in quite well over here. Not knowing much about the ones who die leaves Victor's job open to interpretation, and without being given too much information, one can still appreciate this as humorous despite actually being rather sad, since Victor's life is consistently in danger, and this is, of course, against Victor's will. He doesn't want his life to be in danger, but at this point, he doesn't seem to really care whether he dies or not, which I suppose only adds to the irony of the novel. Um, He's basically done all he could. He had a family. He took care of Misha, of Sonia, and of Nina. And I suppose he feels accomplished. But yeah, I look forward to seeing what happens in the sequel after he escapes. I also learned that there is such a job as penguinologist. In fact, it was underlined in red when I typed it down in my Goodreads review, but this is an actual job. And it sounds like a dream come true, like a dream job, for people who like penguins, especially. You could study them your entire life, work with them, and learn all about them, which sounds extremely interesting. So, anyway, that's all I had to say about this book called Death and the Penguin by Andrey Kurkov. If you haven't yet read this one and you love animals, I recommend that you do. If you love irony, give it a go as well. If you need a book translated from the Russian, um, this would be a good fit as well. Anyway, if you have read it, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. And as usual, please subscribe, like, comment, share. Check out my shorts, my videos, my live streams, my community posts, and do everything you can to help support my channel. Thank you so much for 1,300 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.